The list goes on. If you just say the word, then I'll look for much. I leave it all. Leave you. I leave it all. Give me all the reason why I should never make a change. Maybe when you hold me, then all of this will go away. Give me all the reason why I should never make a change. Maybe when you hold me, then all of this will go away. Some friends I don't understand. They think I'm easy over. I take my hand with you. I leave it all. With you. I leave it all. Give me all the reason why I should never make a change. Maybe when you hold me, then all of this will go away. Give me all the reason why I should never make a change. Maybe when you hold me, then all of this will go away. My house in Budapest, my hidden treasure chest, my golden grand piano, my beautiful Castillo's I leave it all.
So, happy birthday, Dad.
Thank you, yes.
Happy 80th birthday. Thank you for all coming. We've both got prompts because we knew this would happen.
I can't see that. So I'm going to make it up as you go along.
Right, Dad, I'll prompt you.
Okay.
Over to you now.
Yeah.
Go on.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming along. I can't believe I've got to this stage of being just over 79. Anyway, I'm here now. My father always said to me, he says, you know, Dad, son, he says, there won't be many people at my funeral. I didn't think there'd be that many people at my 80th birthday either. So thank you all. I know some of you even thought it wasn't my wake, but there we are, it isn't. And I'm not an AI generated person either.
So, we want to just say a few words about how motorcycles have influenced Dad's life over the years.
I could talk about, you know, everything, 80 years of life, as it were. What has got me where I am now really is motorbikes. And this is over 50 years, 60 years even. So some of us in the audience will remember some of the bikes. The first one I had at 16 was the C11. And I don't know how many people remember that. It was a rigid back end. There's one there who's saying I thought it might well be. It took me £13. So in today's money, that was rocked. No, it was. And that bike was the first bike, my first adventure was going to, well, I say going to, we tried to get to Drogheda Goats. There was three of us, one on an area on our road, and the other was on a land better, and we were on the C11. We got as far as Loch Ness, and we had this started raining, so we thought we'll pull over, have something to eat, and have a kid. Now the tent was for two people, and there's three of us. All down the rain, so we thought, oh, we'll have something to eat first. So we had the usual stuff, spam and beans, cold. Yeah. So we thought we'll have a cup of tea. So we put the primus on, but we'll put the primus on inside the tent because it's raining.
You might need to explain what the primus are for some
Who knows what a primus is? Well, for those that don't, it's a paraffin fed stove, and you have to build up pressure, pump, pump, pump. If you're lucky, you'll get a spray and a mist, and at that stage you throw the match on it. If you're not lucky, it comes up like a rocket. And guess what? Mine went up like a bloody rocket. We had the tent down, or most of the tent anyway. So we slept under the stars with blankets, not sleeping bags, a blanket. Still raining. Anyway, the next day we thought, to hell with this, we're going back home. So John and Goats never did get there. Yeah.
And then after that, Dad, you had several bikes
So
for your use.
several bikes, up until I was married, so we had a break for about 20 years. Yeah. And then after that we came to the shop really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The shop started when I was 27, 28, something like that.
I was in your life by then, 1979.
There we are,
Yeah.
I think it was 78 actually. Anyway, yeah. And then there we are. The shop, funny enough, took me away from riding motorbikes. With all the bikes I had, just didn't have time to ride them. So, yeah. But then Nancy came along and gave me the excuse to go around the world a bit. Where were we up to on that one?
So we're up to then your Enduros with Andy.
Yeah, well, that's nice. During the time with the shop, Andy was in the orders here, very good friend.
There he is.
There he is.
To your left.
We started doing the Welsh Enduro rounds. Well, that lasted, how many years did that last for, Andy? 15 years, yeah. So we did all the Welsh rounds, and towards the end, we weren't getting too far into the score book, so we took on the 600cc championship, four-stroke championship, because there weren't that many contending that, so we had a better chance of winning something. And sure enough, in 1986, the man over there won the 600cc four-stroke championship, and who came to run up? Me. But he's never let me down, or let me forget. He won it, which is fair enough.
After that, you went on freedom yes, I have. Freedom tours with your friend Brian. He was here today as well. I don't know where he is.
There he is. He's Brian, and his daughter
There he
Lola.
is.
Well, Brian was at loose ends, I think, at the time. He retired very early. Brian knew Europe on the back of his hand. He travelled extensively through skiing and mountaineering. And I said to him, well, I've got lots of customers that would love to travel abroad. We just need someone to take them. Hence, Freedom Tour started. And that was, how many years, Brian? We did that for? How many years? It was about 5 or 6 years anyway. And he also introduced me to Europe.
And before that, you've not really done a huge amount of riding in Europe, had you? So that really
No, not at all. No, it was mainly in the UK. And Brian introduced me to the wonders of Europe. And skiing as well, at the age of 55. And he still skis, and I won't tell you how old he is, but he's older than me.
And that then opened up your adventures on a bike, also Morocco, Georgia, Turkey, China, Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, India.
Yeah, all what Matthew mentioned there could take you all week to tell you the experiences we had. But there's one or two which stand out, particularly in Morocco. Now, Morocco, unfortunately, Derek, who I went with, he's not here tonight. He's even as old as me. However, we did the trip across Morocco. Before all, we had GPS or telephones, so everything was done as we went along. So we ended up into Spain, caught the ferry across into Morocco. En route, we crossed the desert. Now, bear in mind, we're on BMW R1100s, big bikes, camping gear, tent, everything, stoves. So we came to this wadi. Everyone know where a wadi is? Yeah, they are. What is a wadi, John? Is it?
Dry riverbed.
There we are, across the riverbed. Which, bear in mind now, this is now about 15-foot drop into the river, what there was of it, and across the other side and out. Now we're thinking, how the hell are we going to get these bikes across there? So while we're pondering and wondering what to do, the local chief turns up on his little 125 scooter in his flip-flops and his long smock. And he's saying hello to us, saying how we get, where we're going, etc. So he now takes his flip-flops off, puts his wellies on, rides down one side and up the other, and waves goodbye to us. 2 hours later, we're still trying to get across. which we did eventually. But yeah, that was a good experience. What was the other one?
You've got a story about Georgia. So when you were riding through Georgia.
Well, Georgia's a long story. I'm boring you too much. And Dave in the audience somewhere. David? Mr. Turner? You're falling asleep somewhere out there. Well, Dave is one of the culprits that came with me. We had a trip going to Georgia. If people don't know where Georgia is, it's into Russia. I'm still being content with that situation. However, we had four of us went to Georgia. I can't remember, when was that, 20 years ago? 10, 15 years? A long time ago. Anyway, the story on this one was Georgia was ruled by the Russians. And we must have been stopped 100 times by the police who wanted.
It's because they knew you were scouts.
Scouting, yeah. Anyway, the last one time we got stopped, the guy took us up the mountains without passports and said, he took us to what reminds me of Colditz. So there was a massive big castle with these guys. It was a jail, basically. So we went into this room, which was a small room with a massive big oak desk and a table. And there was a guy sitting there with his revolver on the desk and two guys behind us with AK-47s. And my mate and Dave being one of them says, Jeff, don't cause any trouble here. They're better armed than us. I said, anyway, 3.5 hours later, we're still being interrogated. They thought we were spies. Anyway, so after 3.5 hours, I stood up, grabbed our passports. I said, we're off. I said to the lads, get up, we're going. The guys behind us with the machine guns decided we're not going, pushed us back. And the guy who was interrogating was only in his late 40s, I guess. Walked into the back room, came out with 2 bags of apples. Thank you, you go. What was that about? I don't know. I really don't know. But 3.5 hours later, we're now trying to go over 10,000 feet of a mountain in the snow. Because we booked a guest house about 100 miles further on. Well, no way we were ever going to make it. So we stopped at this little farm and asked the guy, the farmer, can we put our tents in your compound because of the wild animals in that area. He invited us into his shack. I can only refer to it as a shack. It was a wooden house above, his room was above the cattle. The fact that he only had 1 cow and 6 chickens. But he took us upstairs into this wooden shack. He gave us his room, and his wife's room, not his wife, his wife's room. I should have had that drink. And he fed us, gave us the beds. We had 3 beds in 1 room, or that was. I think Dave slept in the utility room, and they slept in the small, what was a kitchen, diner, living room. Bear in mind now they had no lights, no electricity, no water running, no heating, and it was snowing. 1 window the size of a postage stamp, and that was it. They fed us, which you wouldn't get from the little chef, but it was something like potatoes and cabbage. So we all thought, well, very, very nice that, he always said to people. Next day we wake up, breakfast was potatoes and cabbage. Anyway, we had discussed, we felt that's all to buy, but we were looking after us, so we did. I'm saying to the old lady now, I says, where's the toilet, please? And you can imagine trying to explain that. So this is now going along the balcony, which is about 15 foot off the ground, because the ground was underneath. Got to the door at the end, opened the door, nothing. all the water is into the mountain. And the snow's coming down, the wind's blowing up, and there's a plank. Now the plank is what you sat on.
I'd just like to say at this point, I've heard this story 3 times and it makes me feel quite nauseous each time, so good luck to
Well,
everyone.
you can imagine now we're on this plank, finished what I was doing, I'm looking down to see what's going on, and there's all the chickens having their breakfast. I'm just glad they didn't have any boiled eggs. But the guy, you know, you can imagine now, me turning up in your house, 4 guys, and saying, can you put us up for the night? He's called the police.